Hello there guys, Elita Legionarii here, bringing you a very weird starting deployment phase for a battle I did on Napoleon Total War. Deployed me sideways. It's on the Waterloo map, a map I don't particularly like because I think it's a camping map. Everyone camps on this ridge, which I'm on, so I'm not going to camp. I'm playing as Spain, and my opponent was in command of France, if I remember correctly. So, not an early war. These two would have been in the early phase, but as if my memory serves me right, they didn't stay allied the whole time, so it's potentially likely they did fight again. Anyway, these are my deployment. Now, here's a unit of Walloon Guards, an extremely good elite unit, and I completely forget about it the entire fight. And I wanted to kick my own ass for doing that. So that's out of it. A massive waste. But other than that, I do alright, I think. I have 4 units of light infantry, which obviously is light infantry rolls. Then I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Fusilier. The general is Francisco Costarios. Then I got 2 units of Lanceros and 2 units of Coracios Espandes. I don't know, it's my Spanish, it's terrible. So I think it's the Lancer, yeah, 2 pretty solid Lancer cav, followed by 2 solid melee cav, which was the hope I could kind of just burst one flank in or something like that with a nice charge and then follow up some really hard hitters. That was the idea. Then over here I have 2 Hazares. I'm sure this is just Hazars, and they got 2 Dragoons as well, which I wanted just to have a good strong melee core on the right. Actually no, I've got 2 Hazares and 2 Dragoons. It's a pretty big cavalry wing, to be honest. If I only remembered that unit of Walloon Guards, I would have been so thrilled. Oh, I was so mad at myself for getting it. My opponent, he has, let's see, he's got 4 Chasseurs, which is a fairly darn good unit of skirmishers, although I kind of prefer to use the Voltigeur, to be honest. I think it's slightly more men than the unit if my memory serves me right, and they're cheaper, and I just don't think the Chasseurs are that much better. If I remember correctly, Chasseurs means hunters. I think it's supposed to anyway, so it's kind of cool. Then he's got, let's see, for his main line he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 5 Fusilier at the line. Then he's got 2 Old Guard, so these guys are awesome, badass, absolutely epic, and they look darn awesome too, so better be careful of those. I could have used my Walloon Guard there, but of course in my brilliance I forgot about it. Then there's the General Staff. Then he's got what I consider one of the most, probably a bit OP really, but it's awesome at the same time, as these Chasseurs Cheval, like gun cav, like light Dragoons, but at the same time they're really good at melee fighting as well. And when you combine those 2 traits together, that's a really dangerous piece of cavalry, and it proves it so in itself in this match. And he's got 4 of them, so I was a bit worried about that. He's got 2 Swiss Foot, which is an approved line infantry for France. It's a good one too, and then he's got a National Guard, which is more militia level. So the skirmish duel was about to begin. I see an opportunity to get some of his light, so I do a cavalry rush to get him. However, I do get very close to his line, which I was so desperately trying to get his skirmishers here that I really probably pulled it too close. But I did 4 squares on him, so I'm not going to lose too many guys as if I hadn't, because if he didn't go into squares he would have had more men to shoot. So, well, it probably wasn't that great a trade. I only got 14 men, and I lost probably 11 cav, so I don't really think it was a very good trade, but I was just desperately trying to get in there and try and get as much as I could. My guys, I'm in a bad position here, I'm not hitting anything. I don't think I realised this very quickly, so I ended up getting a lot of bad shots like that, which was really stupid. I was a bit mad at myself for making mistakes like that, but it is Napoleon, I don't play it very often, so I do make allowances for myself. So I bring my two of my Hazares out the side, and in the hopes I could just break this flank apart on this side and then kind of wrap him up. So I think I do move my skirmishers up because I realise the line of sight they've got is pretty darn awful. Plus I think he's withdrawn back his guys quite a bit, so he's playing pretty defensively. Probably trying to draw me in. Something I probably could potentially fall for in this game because I'm not particularly good at it. So I'm moving up here, and I'm just going to triple into a action. Can start again. Because it's kind of just me moving up, and he's just kind of kiting back or drawing back. I'm not really sure why though. I can't see any particular reason for him to do so. He's just giving me terrain advantage, I think, because the terrain up here is quite nice. And he's kind of going to get himself jammed up against the border. So I'm not really sure why he was doing that, but maybe he was drawing back to these defensible kind of buildings and stuff. Maybe he wanted to defend that and nullify my cavalry. That's not a bad idea, because I do have some pretty strong cav. So I'm just going to advance up again. He's still going to withdraw, I think. Okay, maybe not. Maybe he's withdrawn as far as he liked. What I was considering doing was breaking my force up and kind of getting an upper force up here, which I think I might eventually do actually. I'm not too sure, I can't quite recall. Again, some of these battles I did a while ago, but I've been meaning to upload them, but it's just so much other stuff needs to be uploaded, and the other games always take my time and attention over Napoleon, which isn't always a good thing, because I know people like Napoleon and I like Napoleon, but it's just what happens. So I'm going to send two of my Lancer cav over here, in the hopes that I could disrupt his line eventually. However, my guys have got much better line of sight down here as well, so that's better for me. And I just want to see when the attacks begin. Okay, apparently this unit's got range. Maybe these two units got range, and I'm getting good shots on these chasseurs. So the skirmish fight, everything about this fight starts off well for me, but it kind of falls to bits. It was really annoying, but at the same time it was well done with my opponent. And we just start into a skirmish mode, and his chasseurs do end up coming out quite nicely, so they are good units. Over here, I run some skirmish, some lance strikes on his infantry here, and it does a lot of damage because they're really great charges. And I was trying to get him to withdraw. So I withdraw here, and I've taken that unit down to half nearly, so they worked out quite well. And the skirmish fight is pretty even, I think. It's pretty even. This flank, however, he's got a lot of line infantry here, and I was tempted to just go charging straight through, but I imagine he'd get at least one shot off there, and that would ruin the whole thing, so I need to outflank it somehow. I was hoping to just put pressure on this flank. I know I've caused a square over here and a square here, which is good, so I can put some pressure on and take that high ground. I think that was what my thinking was. If only I had that Walloon Guard! So I decided to just go after his skirmishes here, and just take the skirmish fight, and then I can just shoot him as much as I want. And I just tried pushing straight on through and taking as many out before, so I realised I'm going to lose that unit, but it doesn't really go off as well as I'd hoped, so I did lose that unit, unfortunately. But it does mean that I take the skirmish advantage, which is good, because I think I was starting to, not necessarily lose it, but sort of it was turning against me a bit. Now I start moving my skirmishes up onto the high ground. I'm just going to keep using my Lancer cav to harass here. And I'm going to pull off two units of my line infantry here, because I know I've got the skirmish advantage for the most part. Our men are running, sir! So I can just kite back if I need to make use of that skirmish. And I'm going to bring in two units of my Fusilier to help me in this fight against the Swiss foot, which are a bit better if I remember right. But they'll come in handy now. I obviously stuffed something out with my Lancer there that I missed. I think I made another charge on the flank, or an attempt to charge, but it didn't come off right. However, I'm going to move around here and try and force some of his infantry forward here, because the skirmish fight is, let's see, it's still pretty darn even. It's perhaps slightly better in the chasseur's favour, but not too drastically so. So they sort of this one started moving a bit. Maybe it lost range, I'm not sure, but it's not ideal because I don't really have the advantage now. I move these guys into this wooded area, and they're going to get some nice shots onto the corner of this unit in the crossfire. So I'm going to start making my moves over here. I'm bringing my two Husaris out to the left there, and I want to get my guys into range here. So as long as I can occupy most of that infantry, that National Guard should break under a good chav charge, as long as I don't go straight into it. Even then it probably would, as long as I didn't lose too many, because it's only a National Guard. But the Swiss foot, I need to distract them with my own line, but it's risky because he's still got some very powerful line and old guard, and of course line's more powerful in Napoleon than it is in the Empire, so I have to be careful. Over here, this fight is still going really rather evenly. I think I started shooting this unit of line infantry with air. I probably should have started cross-firing, to be honest, because it's still pretty even, but he could win that if I'm not careful. So I moved these guys over now. I'm sure they're meant to be running. Yeah, they were. Sometimes it's hard to get used to run this game. Like, I feel like I'm making them run, but they're not. So he goes to squares, and I sort of think to myself, that's good. I'm going to advance up here and start the duel. Because if he's in squares, I know I can at least take the edge on that fight. The skirmish duel's looking fairly even most of the place, slightly in my favour actually, which is looking rather good at this stage. I don't know why I wanted my guys to run here, and they just little things like that, kind of hard to do. So here he sends his 4 units of chasseurs cheval, and I seriously underestimated their power. I really thought my dragoons here, my hussars rather, and my heavy cav units would just destroy them, but I was wrong, big time. I really just did. I thought they'd just trash them, and he does just get some good shots off here, and takes a few units out. He doesn't get that many, and I still thought my heavy cav would wreck them, but they're really good at melee fighting as well as gunning. But for some reason I was charging these 2 units, but they just stopped and turned and all went into this 1 unit, and I know I didn't tell it to do that, and this really screwed me up because these units are going to get shots in, and I honestly look at that, this unit here is charging for that and it just turned itself into that. It was very frustrating because I did not tell it to do that, and it just means I have to over-micro things. So here I send this unit in through here, make a micro mistake and I stop. I really wanted to kick my ass for that as well. So here all my cav were out because they went and did this stupid thing instead of just charging when I told them to, and that was really annoying. But I go in and destroy all the skirmish, and I'm hoping to myself that maybe if I do this right, I might be able to destroy these chasseurs and destroy his skirmishes, and then I can just use my own skirmishes to thin his line out, and I might still be able to recover this, but it's looking kind of bleak because he's still got these guys over here. I was really mad at myself for that. I really don't know why that happened. I charged in, and you saw them, they just turned, and I had targeted those other units, and they just chose to ignore it. This unit here, I should have sent it over to that cavalry fight. Too content on getting rid of his skirmishes. I was getting a little too grand. My plans were getting too grand, and my fusiliers here are getting absolutely wasted. And I lost this flank where I should have won. I really should have won this flank. It was doable, and I really I had the advantage in this fight, and I just stuffed it. And I mean, if I'd had my Walloon Guard down here, that would have made a big difference, I think. I decided then that I'm going to shift my line, try and get the high ground as much as I can here.
Our men are running, sir!
I've done pretty decently. I've gotten rid of, like, at least in the skirmish fight, done pretty decently, and I'm doing quite well there. He kind of stops here, trying to reorganise himself, but I was retreating back, so I don't get any shots off, unfortunately. But I mean, I was really disappointed. If I realised the Walloon Guards were there this time, it could have just changed things. My opponent was patient and he waited me out, so good on him. So he charges his chasseurs here, but I should be able to destroy them if he stays clustered like that. But my guys are not really firing, but they do fire a bit here, but they're not really firing. It's really annoying. They sort of fired, and then I think I was regrouping them. But I do manage to get quite a few good shots off, but there's still way too many of them there for that unit to survive. So I'm going to lose that. So I mean, these chasseurs cheval are tough. It's a very tough cavalry unit. It seems to be very, very efficient at doing both melee and gunning, so it makes it extremely hard to stop. I like it though, it's a good unit. So here I'm getting a bit of crossfire on this Fusilier of the line, which has allowed me to destroy it. Over here I was trying to get his cav, keep his cav out. But I left my general on behind all this time as well. That was pretty silly. So there were clearly mistakes made, but I really felt I should have had this one, because I kind of felt like, you know, that time when you play these games and you just feel like you've got command of the field and you just stuff it, and I was really irritated by that. I mean, I don't mind losing or anything, but sometimes it's just annoying when you know you should have done better, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Here I catch these chasseurs here, but I mean I'm not square, so my Fusilier are probably going to lose this as well. These chasseurs did so much damage. They're an awesome unit, like superb guns and superb, you know, good as hussars and stuff as well, so if not better in my opinion, so I mean they're really good. So he's bringing his old guard up here, and if I just had my Walloon guard on that right flank, I reckon I could have collapsed it, but I just
Our men are running, sir.
So he's cleaning me up at the flank there. Still haven't noticed my generals sort of astray. So I moved to take this higher ground. I realise I'm going to lose this fight now because he's still got so much heavy line there, and all those he's like 2 old guards and enough line infantry there to keep me in trouble. So I do retreat back here to make sure I've got that range advantage. But he's now got guys. Okay, I did get rid of his chasseurs. They've gone behind my line there, but I did get rid of them, or most of them. And the bar's not like humongously against me. Had I had my Walloon guard over here now, I probably still would have lost, but it would have been closer. But honestly, I know I keep mentioning it, but it's just really, I was just really kind of ruined it. Yeah, I'm getting crossfire, but I wanted to get rid of these chasseurs because they're just being a nuisance. He just charges me here though. So even getting shot at point blank like that, they charge in here, and they successfully destroy this unit if I leave. So they are one hell of a good unit, and they're very good. So I use France. I strongly suggest you use them because it's a very good unit. So here, his old guard come in, and I was kind of just going to continue to let them caught on this unit, and then
our men are running, sir.
But I was thoroughly overestimated my skirmishes there, and they broke immediately. But at this stage, I think I just decided to withdraw back a little bit. I decided to withdraw back and maybe just hold up in one of these houses
our men are running, sir.
And eventually, I think I do eventually spot this Walloon guard, and I was just so annoyed at myself at the time. But good game to my opponent there. He did.
Our men are running, sir.
He did very patiently wait me out, and ultimately it worked out very well. But I figured to myself, you know, these Walloon guards, you know, stick them in this building. There's no artillery, just to see how much of a beating they can take.
We have taken a building, sir.
Just for a laugh. I mean, my opponents deserved the win, and I was willing to give it to him at any point. So I just see my general behind the building. We put the Walloon guard inside it, and just see how much it can hold out, because he's still got like all this line infantry. But I just kind of felt like I really should have won this fight, because I think I could have. I just really mucked that one up. Seriously, I should have won that. I just started making sort of hasty decisions and things like that, and I just really should have won it. I really, you know, not that it matters. I don't have a problem losing or anything like that. I'm quite happy to upload losses, and I do congratulate my opponent. I was impressed. It's impressed too, like how he just kind of withdrew back, and I kind of thought that he was didn't really know what point he was doing in it. He was just kind of like drawing me in, and then he sort of just wanted me to charge here, and thoroughly underestimated Chasseur Cheval, which I did. And it was very clever. But what I was saying is, it's just like sometimes you get that feeling like you really know that you probably should have won a fight, but you just made a few dumb decisions, and it kind of forces you to lose. But it doesn't matter. It's a great game. My opponent was smart, and there's a very good chance he probably still would have beaten me, but I still think I possibly could have won. So but yeah, so anyway, basically I didn't want to waste my Walloon guard. I didn't want to just give up, and I thought, Walloon guard there, it's still a good guard unit. Let's just see what much damage it can do before it goes down. I figured no artillery, go into the building, and it's pretty defensible, and we'll see how we do. So he's just advancing up here. I'm pretty sure he just kind of charges all in, I think, and I just keep my general here and just rally it as much as I can with the general's abilities. Of course, another big thing with Napoleon Total War is just how closely you have to look after your general's units, which I like, but at the same time I hate. I like that your general's important, and losing him is detrimental to your army. I think that's very good, but I hate that your general's so vulnerable in Empire, and Napoleon is, it's very hard to go from Rome, and particularly medieval 2, because the general's units are strong in that, and then suddenly he's just like crap in melee fighting, whereas he was a badass in medieval 2. It's quite hard to go from that. So anyway, he comes out here, and we have a big gunfight. It's the epic building here. These dudes are firing him through a brick wall. Look at that. That's how you do it. That's perfect cover. You just stick your bayonet through a brick wall and fire away. It's all good. So he just charges his old guard in. So old guard versus the Walloon guard, but they're pretty weakened. Well, one of them's pretty weakened. So here's some nice melee. Now look at these uniforms. Badass. So then we come and an epic fight ensues. And the Walloon Guard do a very, very good job actually. It's amazing how efficient a defensive position like a building can be, providing you can stay in it and not get blown out of it by artillery. Because it just does really, really well. But he just swamps me and wishing to end it, basically. So my Walloon Guard though, it's got 4 units in there, and 2 of them are old guards, mind you. And it still
All hope
says
is lost, sir. This battle is almost done.
it was saying I was winning. So they did very well. So I mean, they could have been really decisive had I not stuffed it. He decides to charge my general. He does a nice job of it too, with that charge. This is a general's battle here. Where are the generals? Let's see if we can find them. Let's see. Is that... It's hard to tell. And there's the building falling. And my general must be... where is my general? This must be him here.
Sir,
Yeah.
your general has been killed.
Yep,
This
there
is
he
a
goes.
black day.
No. So there we go. And it was a close game though. Like, even though I made a ton of mistakes, it was still fairly close. So let's see what got the best kills. Yeah, the Walloon Guards, 153 in that last little standoff. So if I'd put them in the fight, it could have made a big difference. So that was a really big blunder on my part. But never mind. It was a great game, and my opponent, Alex, did very well earned. So most kills with that guard, but the skirmishes were okay. They seem to be doing okay, but the Fusiliers got thrashed. And this cavalry, I put a lot into my cavalry, and it just didn't do any good. Big gamble. I think I had like 1, 2, 3, 4. Was it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? It was like 7 cavalry, and they just didn't do anything very much at all. So. I kind of like the Spanish cavalry though. I like Spain. That's a fun faction. So, but it didn't come off the way I wanted it. So never mind. Good game to Alex. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It's great to bring you some Napoleon. Hope I didn't bore you with this, because I know I'm not particularly great at Napoleon, nor do I know the ins and outs of it. It's not my main game or anything like that. But it is a very fun game. It's very beautiful to play, and it just feels nice to sometimes play it from time to time when I can connect to them. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. Obviously it's not my best game, being that I prefer to play the like Rome and medieval 2 and stuff, but do expect some more of these Napoleon battles because they're a lot of fun. So thanks for watching, guys. Good game to Alex, and I'll see you soon next time.